So that is going now. I'll start the timer. And boom dat and doom dat, boom dat and boom ba dat and boom dat and doom dat, doom dat and doom dat.
That's so dumb.
But it is kind of dumb.
But I like it. It's funny.
Mm-hmm. Well, hello. This is Bump That.
Who the heck are you? You don't know?
I wish I knew sometimes.
Oh man, this got deep, and we're only like 5 seconds into this.
Not even, right? No, whatever.
Well, her name is Ileana Baumann. My name is KT Ash. Believe it or not, we're actually related. She's the stutterer. Medically a stutterer. You should turn off right now. Just turn off whatever you're listening to.
No, actually, I'm not. Sorry, I don't want to get demonetized for making fun of stutterers. I am not a stutterer. I don't have that medical condition. Sorry to people out there who have a stutter issue. We see you. You are noticed.
This is our first episode, and we're already
offended people.
Way to go, me.
Anyways, yes, we are sisters. I am the younger sister. KT is the bigger sister, with a 7-year difference or so.
Something like that. I can't math.
Yeah.
Something like that. So yeah, this is a podcast about animation and video games and all things nerdy. I might even throw in some comic book things here and there. I don't know if Ileana knows anything about comic books.
I like the colors and the drawings, but I couldn't really go in depth about, anything about the stories or who the characters are, really.
Yes, I am the bona fide nerd of our little duo here. She's more of the brain and technological person.
Yeah, so some could say that. I went to school for digital animation, so I graduated with my bachelor's in digital animation. Did animation over my senior show with a character of Katie's, actually, so that was pretty cool. And then Katie got her degree in
music. Yes. Believe it or not, I actually did get my degree in vocal performance, but I play a plethora of things. Plethora. Not very well, but, I make it work. All right, so, sort of what we wanted to talk about as a segue in our introduction is what got us into video games? Mm-hmm. What video games do we like? Why is it important in our lives? Mm-hmm. All right, so I'll go first because I was born first. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So video games, when I was a wee lass, I was born in Washington State. And then, and then being in a military family, we promptly moved, actually very shortly after, we moved to Germany. And one of my earliest memories of being a wee lass was my parents and our older brother, playing the NES. Oh, that's a throwback. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It was still...
Nintendo Entertainment System. What year did that come out?
It came out in 1983? No, what? 83? Something like that.
We're not fact-checking it, so we're going with that.
Bump that. See? Anyway, so you see what I did there. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I remember Mom and Pop playing Tetris, and Brian and I would play Super Mario Brothers 3 and Spelunker and the original OG Mario Brothers. All kinds of games, even caveman games for any of y'all that remember that. And so I've grown up with video games. Nintendo, especially Nintendo, is yes
the OG, yes, special place in the heart.
Yeah. What's an Xbox?
What game even is on Xbox?
The Halo.
Who plays Halo?
Nothing else. So I'll end my little thing here, but I would have to say one of my many favorite games is Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. For all you folks that know what that is, yeah, you know what's up.
Good one.
Yeah. All right, Ileana.
What got me in video games was definitely Big Brother, Big Sister. They wanted an opponent to play with who they could beat right off the bat. There was no contest. So
none whatsoever.
So I was, infuriated by the fact that they would give me this controller and every single freaking time I would lose. So I'm like, you know what? Bump that. I'm gonna get good.
Especially in Mario Party for Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, I've got a story about that. We'll discuss that one later on. But
snap.
Yeah, I started my first console. While hers was probably the Atari, NES, and Sega Genesis. Mine would be the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64. Those are the ones that I grew up playing. That have a special place in my heart. She already said that, Super Mario 64.
Nah, dude. I said Legend of the Seven Stars.
No, for me.
Oh, okay.
Playing it. Playing Super Mario 64 and Mario Kart. And, oh man, this is a good one. GoldenEye. That was always fun.
Oh, ba-ba, 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 ba-ba. Yeah, I was always the one that would be Odd Job, and Brian would get so mad at us, like, dude, you're too short, I can't do you.
I was a Natalie fan. I always went for Natalie.
Natalia.
Sorry,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They were Russian. I forgot.
Yeah.
So Natalia, I would always go for her, and since I was young at the time, they actually weren't allowed to play in the regular mode, so they had to put it in paintball mode because I was so young and couldn't be exposed to the blood and violence. So it was like, we're having a little paintball fight, super fun.
Hashtag conservative.
Exactly. So good times growing up in our house with video games. They definitely hold a special place in our heart, which is why we've been playing them ever since. And
so I have a question for you. Right now, what is your favorite game to play? No doubt it's on your Switch, unless it's a mobile game.
No, bump mobile games. I'm sorry, they're not great. I have heard that Genshin Impact is really good, but I haven't.
You're offending like 5 people right now.
Anybody who plays Mario Kart on their mobile phone is like rolling around on the ground. How dare you talk about my mobile games?
When did Toad walk in?
No, I would have to say that my favorite game on the Switch to play currently is, hands down, Animal Crossing. Just about everybody in the exact same place in the world right now with coronavirus having to stay home. What are you going to play? Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
It's so much fun. Well, I would return the same question to you. What is the game of interest?
I'm slightly ashamed to admit this, but I'm not, because this game is just so good. You know which one I'm going to say. I've put nearly 500 hours into this game.
I don't know why you keep... What left in this game is there to do?
Nothing except have fun. This game is Fire Emblem 3 Houses. My first Fire Emblem game was on the GameCube. And I can't remember what it was called because I'm idiot.
I think it was even given to you to play. You didn't even buy it.
I borrowed it.
Yeah.
And it was so good. And then my friend asked for it back, and I'm like, wait a second.
This is my new child.
I've
now.
only played it for 5 days. It was maybe 5 weeks.
It was that good that they wanted it back.
Yes. Let's see. Simultaneously, what else am I playing? I'm actually playing a lot on the Super Nintendo download that you can get for the Switch. I've been playing a lot of Donkey Kong because Donkey Kong is my baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you basically are DK.
I know. I know you can't see me, but I exercise. I exercise a lot.
She's got bowling balls for arms. They are sturdy.
Yeah.
And I have
too bad my tum-tum is still my tum-tum, and then my goal in life is to have legs like Chun-Li from Street Fighter.
My thing is that while she's got the bowling ball arms and she's the muscular one, we have to have balance in this house, and I am the noodle. I'm the noodly one with the tiny arms that can't lift more than 10 pounds.
One of my favorite things to do, I don't know why amuses me so much, is she'll randomly jump on my back and I won't think anything of it and I'll just walk up a flight of stairs.
Who threw that piece of paper at me? That's me. I'm the piece of paper.
Oh my God.
Anyways, segueing into our next thing, we are going into the dessert of the week. KT.
Dessert of the week.
KT, what have you presented us with?
Okay, well, me exercising a lot, but you can't really tell. I like, the reason why you can't is because I like dessert. And so, a friend of mine, a couple of months ago, he introduced me to a bakery in my city, Gainesville, Georgia, not Florida, Georgia. And, yeah. And they have the most wonderful tiramisu, except I was hoping there'd be a little bit more coffee.
Oh, yeah. Last time it was drenched.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
bottom.
But now we got some dry tiramisu. But nonetheless, this stuff is dope. Where's my spoon? Give me my spoon!
So we've got tiramisu.
Yes,
Let's
and
dig
black.
in.
My coffee is black. That is the way that you take your tiramisu.
And I am the opposite. Once again, we are opposites, but we definitely attract some flies.
Yeah, we attract something. I don't know what it is.
I've got pumpkin spice creamer in my coffee. We'll see.
Tiramisu.
That is good.
Yeah, it's still nice and moist. It's not overly sweet.
And it's very airy. That's what I appreciate about it. It's nice and creamy and airy, fluffy type of.
Yeah. And it comes with the cutest little raspberry on top.
If you don't like fruit, I know there's fruit haters out there, such odd people, but you know, the
don't tell my mom this, but her house is where fruit comes to die.
It does. It does.
And then we joke around with her. We love our mom very much. We joke around with her, and you know, I'll throw it away, and then she'll say, "I was gonna eat that."
It's like, Mom, it's bad. It has fruit flies coming out of it. You can't eat that now.
No. All right, but we do love our mama. Hey, Mom.
We do.
Hey, Mom.
Mom.
All right, speaking of Mom, I don't know what that has to do with Mom.
Nope.
But also, we love animation. Animation. Cartoons is a thing. Right now, I didn't plan this, but I'm wearing a Pixar shirt right now.
I am not.
I actually got it in Disney. I'm not! But, earlier today, at the gym, I was wearing, a firebending, shirt that I got. It says Firebending University. Which is funny because I'm actually an earthbender, and if you don't know where either of those references are, have you been living under a rock?
Come on, man. It's been out for 15 years?
Oh my, don't say that.
16 years? You gotta get with it. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes, the cartoon ever made.
My favorite TV show of all time. It surpasses regular, real life people TV shows. It is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, hands down.
It just has everything perfect with it. It's the Lord of the Rings of television.
Yes.
Cartoons, Lord of the Rings, has another special place in our heart.
Oh,
Definitely one of the most perfect trilogies ever. And then, you put that same perfect story and you put it in Avatar, and it's just beautiful. Mastery. The development of every character, every area that they've been in, just flawlessly put together. And, compelling story for a group of teenagers who are children,
a group of teenagers who are children.
Yeah.
Man, we're so good at this podcast.
It's the first episode. Hey, man.
Oh, man. Yes. Click now. Click away from this radio show. What are you doing still listening?
I'm just eating my tiramisu.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Dang, this is really good, too.
It is good.
But yes, Avatar. Compelling writing, compelling characters, compelling animation. Everything about it is super good. That's why it's my favorite. Now, what's funny is that I talk about that show all the time. I rewatch it. In fact, earlier this year, I was having an internal conversation with myself. Do I watch Avatar that just came out on Netflix, or do I watch Beastars, which was brand new at the time? Do I watch Beastars or Avatar? I picked Avatar.
No, it was like the 14th time you've watched it.
Yeah. And my husband, Wesley, he does not share my affinity for Avatar in the slightest bit. And he thinks that Katara is just a thirsty chick. She's just...
Floozy.
Yeah, floozy. But, yeah, I can talk about Avatar all day. In fact, our older brother he lives in Minnesota, and he wants to have, like, a seminar. Not a seminar.
A Socratic seminar.
Yeah, where we just sit around and talk about Avatar, as well as Legend of Korra. Two different things. Don't get twisted.
You know, same creators, almost same style of animation. There's some differences, different studio. But... you know, the stories are vastly different, and, you know, it's set in the same world, just, you know, 70, 80 years in the future or something like that.
I think it's like 60.
60? Okay.
It's just 60.
Well, it's set in the future, but wow, are those avatars different, you know, new avatar and everything, but that's our favorite animation for a TV show. Now, you're wearing a Pixar shirt.
Yes.
Name your favorite Pixar movie and why. Swallowing styrofoam.
That is a really hard one, and I've thought about this, and I've wrestled with myself about it over and over. But I just keep coming back to the same answer, and it is The Incredibles.
Incredible.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. Incredible. It's got everything. Drama, action, comedy, bam! Now, sadly, it is starting to show its age a lot.
Yeah, that animation style looks kind of rough.
But, however, you can get past that. You can look past that because it's still beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
it's
definitely.
Gorgeous. In fact, there is, speaking strictly about animation, I think one of the first times you see the island, it still looks like a brand new, like a real island. It's amazing. Some people will, you know what? I'm gonna save the thought that I was just going to say. I'm gonna save that for another day about The Incredibles 2. But yes, that movie is wonderful, and I know what your favorite is, but they don't.
I will throw this everywhere, up on a billboard, that A Bug's Life is my favorite, not even just Pixar movie, but my favorite movie of all time.
You know, I said that I knew your answer, but I feel cheated because I didn't think that was it. I think it depends on the day for you. What is your other one? And I hope I get this one right.
Ratatouille?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, that's like third on my list, I believe.
Third,
because I had to put Lord of the Rings a second, man.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were talking about...
just a Pixar?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so yeah, that's number 2 on the list of favorites. However, Bug's Life is my all-time favorite movie. I don't know why. I know there's flaws with it. I know the story is pretty basic, but my goodness, I just hold that nostalgia factor, you know, in my heart every time I watch it. Like Flick and Hopper is just such a good villain. I don't know. I always am just
He
so...
is a scary villain.
He is scary. And the bad thing about it is that Katie and I can quote it, you know,
verbatim.
Word for freaking word.
I don't see that as a problem.
No, not at all. It cracks up Wesley, your husband. He gets a kick out of that one, asking us to quote it when we're in the same room together.
Actually, we were at home the other night playing a board game, just the two of us, and we had it on the TV, and my back was towards the TV, and he's like, quote it. I'm like, do you want to do this? Do you want to go down this rabbit hole? He's like, yeah. So... sure enough, I did, and he was not surprised. He was just very, like, I don't know why.
I know. It's one of those weird movies that you're like, why can you quote A Bug's Life? That's such an odd thing to, like, want to quote anyways. Because it's one of the backlog Pixar movies. Like, anytime you hear a favorite of a Pixar movie, it's always like, oh, I love Finding Nemo, Monsters, Inc., Up.
For the uninitiated, I love Cars too.
No, that's bump that. That's dumpster garbage.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Rather watch The Good Dinosaur.
You know, maybe should we go into The Good Dinosaur for just a second?
I mean, we're about to go into Soul, so let's go into.
Let me talk about The Good Dinosaur for a second. Let me take my coffee.
Lay it on us. Lay down that truth.
You're about to get that truth, sister. You're about to get that truth. So, I'm going to for the 0.2 people that are still listening to us, they haven't clicked away. The Good Dinosaur is not terrible. On the totem pole of Pixar films, sure, it's not as great as Finding Nemo. It's not as great as Ratatouille. It's not even as good as Onward.
Great one.
Onward was great, but it's almost like rice. It's plain, but yummy, you know? But I love Onward. Another thing that I'm a nerd about is D&D. I do play D&D. I'm one of those.
I'm sure we'll hear something about that in a podcast to come.
Yes.
So Good Dinosaur.
Yes, Good Dinosaur. Everybody knows this. Well, you know, people that pay attention to Pixar, that it was plagued with production issues. But if you look at the backgrounds of the movie, it is astounding.
They are breathtaking, honestly.
They really are. And what they did was they actually went to a location, I think it was in Wyoming. Don't quote me on.
Hashtag Wyoming people, man.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Where is Wyoming? Anyway, so they went to a place similar to Wyoming, if not Wyoming, and they took these pictures of these mountains, and then they just animated them.
It looks amazing.
So it is a real location. If you look at the water, I've always been impressed with water animation because it's really difficult to perfect. I remember when I saw Moana for the first time, I was like, "Dang, that's water."
Yeah, or even like I know Good Dinosaur is well before this movie, but to see like how good the water was in Good Dinosaur, and then to see it in Frozen 2.
Yeah.
Wow, just the amount of like more skill that went into it to create how the water effects go while Elsa's traversing the water with the horse and everything. That scene was just breathtaking.
I think that's my favorite scene.
It's so cool, and it makes you feel like you're drowning while you're watching it.
Yeah. But yes, The Good Dinosaur. The story is not anything crazy.
It was so lackluster.
It was, but at the same time, confession time, I was like sobbing in the theater. I went alone, thank goodness. And I was like, this is so sad. Oh my god. But then, I just, like, the characters, I just didn't really care for. Arlo is dumb. I didn't see any kind of real growth with him. He was just trying to get home. He was just doing what he was, was supposed to. Spot was kind of weird. Like, I remember feeling uneasy, with Spot. It was just strange.
I don't know what it was. Maybe it was a story, but the one thing that really, really took me out of the immersion of the movie was just how jarring it was to look at the background and then the characters.
Yeah.
They are so opposite. You have these little Play-Doh dummies just walking across, the screen with this really amazing, stunning background. And it was like, I'm so taken out of the movie and what the journey is, and like to feel bad about, what is happening to the dinosaur, that I just couldn't immerse myself in what I was watching.
And I have one more question. What made him good? What made the Good Dinosaur good? That he made it home or that he gave up Spot?
How many licks does it take to become a good dinosaur? A 1, a 2, a 3.
My final thought about Good Dinosaur is, dang, if you go back and watch when he gets boo-boos, those boo-boos look like they freaking hurt, okay?
they do whenever he, like, skins his knee or, like, falls on his knee. They did look like owies.
Woo down!
Well, I think it's because, like, you know, you were a 90s kid, so you were so used to rollerblading and, like, all that kind of stuff that you'd scratch your knees up. Like, if you don't have a scar on your knees from your childhood, you didn't go outside. You didn't have a childhood, man.
Dang.
But, you know, continuing on with Pixar, we have some thoughts and, you know, some predictions about the movie Soul.
Yo.
Weird movie that's coming out. You know, when they first showed the trailer, you know, you see, I don't know the main character's name, but you see him just, you know, with this very pretty city background, you know, it's playing gorgeous jazz music. And I'm like, oh, this looks really cool. And then they just, you know, kind of throw it away. That was exactly like my first idea of the movie was like, they ruined it. You know, what the heck? They had this really awesome setup, like, okay, he got a job, you know, jazz music, he's a teacher, but he's looking for something bigger. And then it goes Inside Out. What the heck?
It's like the opposite of Inside Out, because Inside Out was just so colorful and beautiful, and it's like overwhelming with like kaleidoscope. And then in Soul, you're all of a sudden with the only colors you're getting are very muted, like blue, like you got white,
very cool tone colors.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there is a good reason for it. But man, I wish that they would have just stuck with the real physical world. And from what I hear, the movie itself is supposed to be exceptionally good. But man, oh man, if I'm not skeptical. But now I was extremely skeptical about Onward. And I was pleasantly
me too
surprised.
And I think that's always like the better of the two options, to not be like overly hyped for something to then be disappointed. I think it's always the better to be like, you know, I'm not really going into this with like any expectation, and then to walk out and be like, well, dog, that was a great movie, I'm so happy I saw that one.
For real. And what I'm excited for as a musician, and not just a musician, but I also play jazz music, pretty badly, but I love jazz. Just being immersed in that culture of jazz music, and there's been a little segment of the movie that you can catch a glimpse of when he goes to audition for her name escapes me, but there's a singer on stage and she's just sitting there and there's a light just shining on her. That is so jazz club.
That's the thing about it. It looks so theatrical,
yes,
but in an animation style.
And they once again, it seems like Pixar did their research and they just went to all the jazz clubs and they're like, this is what a jazz club looked like.
Yeah, they really got the essence and the feeling of what it's like to be in one. And you get that from watching it. You're like, that is totally jazz club.
That, and the other thing that makes me happy for this is, as a musician too, I know how excited I get when I make an audition. I'm like, yeah! No, but that's when I'm like outside the door. Inside, I'm like, thank you for your time.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait a minute, are you a jazz?
Thank you for your consideration.
Are you a jazz player or are you a rock star? Which one are you?
It depends on who's paying me that week. But yeah, I would like to be surprised with Soul. My expectations are kind of like
teeter-tottering.
I just don't want it to be. See, they also have that. It's not Amy Poehler. What's her name? Tina Fey. Tina Fey's character looks so dumb. I think that I've heard this somewhere, and I completely agree that the audience is not dumb. We don't need characters like that in order to be engaged or find something funny. We don't have to find something funny.
It's like they did that with, Finding Nemo, and they had Dory, and they kind of made her like the dumb character. But I feel like she had a reason for why she was, because she had the memory loss and whatever, so she wasn't dumb. She had, the disability.
Yeah, and, she was actually Dory was actually the reason why they were able to do anything.
Exactly. So
if you go back and watch that.
But then you look at, like, I don't even know, Cars 2. You look at Cars 2, and you see the dumb character,
His name is Mater! Say his name!
I won't offend anyone. Mater is the...
Click away now!
Mater is the dumb character in that movie, and they, like, they drill it into the ground. It's so annoying. They hammer you with, the dumb Mater, I'm the dumb character. And you get so annoyed by it. It's not pleasant to watch.
Especially since we've lived in the South for a good long time.
Lord, almost all my life.
Yes, and, in fact, I married a redneck.
We dogged it. Yeah, you did.
Shout out to Wesley. Hey! Anyway. And it is not like that. And so... I kind of hate those kind of stereotypical
Yeah, because, while you have an accent, that doesn't make you automatically an idiot.
Yeah.
You can talk like a British man, have a wonderful
Is that your
accent.
British accent?
Wonderful accent.
Oh, my God. That's like Nigel Thornberry with, like, marbles in his mouth. Or he forgot how to use his tongue.
You have this wonderful accent, but then... You're an idiot. An imbecile, actually. But no, because of where you come from and the accent that you have, that doesn't make you an idiot. Regardless, you're an idiot because you're an idiot.
You're an idiot!
So that like, whole trope of, this buck-tooth character, which I don't know why they always have to do that. I have kind of buck teeth here and there. I've got an overbite, so...
You all didn't see that, but she just did, like, a motion with her teeth. Like, I needed to see it. Like, let me see it.
I gotta show you. I gotta prove it. So, I would hope that I wasn't classified as an idiot because I have, an overbite or a buck teeth or something. And Pixar movies always have that trope. Even just, like, regular animation, it's always just this buck-tooth dummy, and I can't stand it. They're not appealing to look at, and they always make them an idiot. They're not intelligent in any way.
That, or it's like you have an oversized or overweight character that's like,
dopey
the dumb one.
Yeah, like
he's slow.
Like in Onward or something, you have the two brothers.
Yeah.
And
or even Jimmy Neutron. Like, I don't know why that one
Carl
popped in. I don't know why Carl Weezer popped in my mind, but that's so true. Like, just like that. And even the Abomination, yes, Abomination, that is the Emoji Movie. We're gonna establish this now. That's not even a film. That is trash. But then you have that weird hand character that's like, he looks like he's fatter. And ironically played by James Corbin. Nothing really more to say about that. Click away!
Cancel, demonetized for making fun of people.
Oh man, and hands, fat hands.
Yeah, chubby hands.
I hate tropes like that. I would rather see something more intelligent, and I think the audience right now, as a whole, as a large, especially the audience that's grown up with Pixar, they're not young anymore. They can handle material that is silly, lighthearted and fun, but not watered down or dumbed down.
Yeah.
And so I would like to see more of that. Just more intelligent things. And so I'm hoping that's what we get from Soul. But time will tell.
I don't have high hopes for that, but time will tell.
Time will tell.
I don't want to call it now, but I'm thinking Soul's gonna be a bump that for me.
I don't think so.
I hope not. I really, really hope not. Just because of how beautiful that animation is in that real world setting. I love it. It looks so good. And you know what's sad? They take a movie that's a person of color type of thing, the thing that they're trying so hard this year to bring up and like bring light to, go people of color. And then they make it halfway through the movie. They're like, okay, he's gone. He's blue now.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's
so wrong, right?
That rubs me the wrong way all of a sudden.
That's so wrong. You're like, okay, you're catering to, jazz club people, and then black people, and they finally have this film, and they always, they like to do the Polynesians well, or something, or the Asian people well. But then
Mulan, cancel Mulan.
Yep, she's canceled. Mulan 2020 canceled. But you finally have like a black lead in this Pixar film. You're like, oh, that's awesome! I can't wait. And then it turns into this little blob blue thing. Like, what? What type of, message is that sending? I'm not trying to cancel Pixar, don't get me wrong, but, it just looks kind of weird in the year and time that we're in right now.
I wish you hadn't said that.
I wanted to know if I was the only one thinking about that, but doesn't it make sense? Like, you can kind of...
It does.
You see that, right?
Oh, man.
So that's why I'm hoping, we'll see more of the character as himself rather than his little blue mushroom thing,
My last thought on Soul, why did they make his head look like he's straight out of the Lorax or
like a little
Dr.
troll
Seuss,
or something?
Yeah, Dr. Seuss character. He's got like a
know.
weird pear-shaped head and then his little beady eyes next to each other. Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Like, why? I don't know who signed off on that, but no.
It's going to be a weird one. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I wonder if it's going to go straight to Disney Plus.
It is.
Okay.
It is. And sadly, it's coming out Christmas Day. Let
me guess. Is it going to be a $30 watch movie?
I mean, I would pay $30 to watch it, to be honest.
I don't know if it would be worth it. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, the thing that stinks about it coming out on Christmas Day is that I will be at my in-laws.
In-laws.
In-laws, bumpin'.
Well, you think they'll want to watch Soul with you?
No. Wesley might, but not them. In fact, last story. So my mother-in-law, she was trying to relate the other day, and that's always a bad thing.
Hey kids, let me relate to you, youngins.
And we were talking about something animated, and she's like, well, I don't know that, but I know Peanuts. And Wesley said, okay, who's Woodstock? She said the squirrel.
Oh my word.
And we're like, what? And she said, the little brown thing then. And I'm like, what? There's no brown thing.
He's a bird that's yellow.
Yellow. All right, so yes. So that is just a glimpse of why I can't watch Soul.
Oh my gosh.
And actually the same day Soul's coming out, Wonder Woman 85 or 84 is coming out.
Oh, cool. I actually didn't know about that one coming out.
Yeah, it's coming out on HBO Plus and some other platform.
Wait, I thought that was HBO Max.
No, HBO Plus is online.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, that one sounds interesting. Well, yeah, we'll definitely be giving Soul a watch whenever it comes out Christmas Day and updating you with our opinions and seeing if our predictions are correct or not.
And believe me, we'll have opinions.
Oh, I've got some opinions.
Next week, we will be having, along with our next dessert, TBD, we will also be talking about the Game Awards. The Game Awards this year is December 10th. Hashtag Animal Crossing for the win. FTW. It's not going to win.
I think it will. That's my thing.
I do not think
it'll
win.
And then I'll just have to save until next week. That is the first episode of Bump That. Thanks everybody for thanks everybody for listening and tuning in. We're gonna see how well this works out. So
thank you for not clicking away at this point. If you haven't, what's wrong with you? Like, are we that entertaining to you?
Yay! Go us! Go us!
Yeah. Yo, you gonna finish that?
Yeah, you could probably eat the tiramisu for me if you want. I've got a little piece left.
Oh, shoot. Give me that.
All right. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.